President Trump has floated the idea of sending out $600 rebate checks to Americans.
President Trump says America's tariff revenue windfall could show up directly in Americans' bank accounts.
We're thinking about a rebate because we have so much money coming in from tariff that a little rebate for people of a certain income level might be very nice.
$600 checks could be hitting your mailbox soon. Not from stimulus, but from tariffs. Yep, the tax that wasn't supposed to work.
They said no one ever wins a trade war. Well, we just did. And Jim Cramer, CNBC's panic-in-chief, is dropping F-bombs because the economy is so strong.
Our biggest problem is we have so much growth that the Fed won't cut.
What the Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I take it right back.
Everybody,
I take it right
okay.
back. Honestly, God, the economy's fabulous. The economy's fabulous.
Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri has officially introduced this piece of legislation entitled American Worker Rebate Act of 2025. It's based on the belief that the federal government is bringing in a record amount of tariff revenue, and as a result, the American people deserve a cut.
No new debt, no inflation. Just a payout from a trade policy the media said would fail.
This is not Liberation Day, it's Recession Day.
Tariffs that, as I predicted, are clearly inviting a recession.
No one wins a trade war. That's just, we know that.
The Chinese are in a much stronger position.
We're increasing inflation because the prices are higher because of the tariffs.
They screwed it up, and they did it a totally ill-advised way. And I was very let down as someone who really, truly believes that free trade is awful for the American working person. This is what they came up with. Geez, come on, have some gumption, have some math.
We have so much money coming in, we're thinking about a little rebate.
And if it passes, this could be the first of many. Here's how it works. Who qualifies and why this could be a game changer, both politically and economically. So first thing, what's in the bill? Well, it's called the American Worker Rebate Act. If you make under $75,000 a year, or $150,000 if you're married filing jointly, you'd get $600 per person. That includes dependents. So a family of four, that's $2,400. So where's the money coming from? Not the Fed, not Congress, from tariff revenue. Customs duties collected on foreign imports have already brought in over $113 billion this year, and they're climbing. So instead of borrowing more, this plan takes that cash and sends it back to Americans. And yeah, Trump's into it. He's already said the idea, it makes sense, because to him, this proves something big. The trade war worked, or it's at least working.
The stock market is at record highs. I know not everybody lives by the stock market, but I also drive around. I don't see a country in a depression at all. I see people out there just living their lives. And I would have thought, and I got to own it, that these tariffs were going to sink this economy by this time, and they didn't.
And let's unpack that. Back in 2018 to 2020, tariffs were slammed as inflationary and dangerous. Critics called them a tax on the American consumer. But now, that tax just bankrolled a direct benefit to the same Americans paying higher prices. Is it perfect? No. But it's not another $1 trillion package either. It's self-funded. And it's simple. If you pay more because of imports, you get a slice of it back. And that's not even the whole story, because while this rebate bill made headlines, something else happened. The EU caved.
The early reviews are in on the new trade deal announced with the European Union. The Financial Times says the deal marks a victory for Trump.
It's incredibly favorable for the United States. When you look at this, it's been very one-sided.
Clearly, there has been an instance where the president has been using his threats of higher tariffs as a negotiating tactic, and in this case, it certainly worked.
Even Clinton guys are confessing Trump's winning. His top pollster says it's clear that the president is succeeding in reshaping of the global economy.
Last weekend, Trump cut a major deal with Europe. They were facing 30% tariffs. Now, it's locked at 15%. In return, Europe pledged $600 billion in U.S. investments and agreed to buy over $750 billion in American energy by 2028. Certain industries like semiconductors and aircraft parts got tariff exemptions. It's the biggest trade pivot we've seen in years, And it doesn't end with just Europe. Other countries that have fully agreed or framework deals under Trump's tariff policy, Japan, locked in at 15% tariffs, pledged hundreds of billions in U.S. investments. Vietnam agreed to 20% tariffs in exchange for trade adjustments and energy cooperation. Indonesia settled at roughly 19% tariffs, no retaliation on U.S. exports. The Philippines accepted 19% rates plus details still negotiated. South Korea, framework in place at 15%, similar to Japan's. And the United Kingdom, deal there was reached, reducing tariffs on U.S. goods, especially in vehicles and ethanol. But that European deal, that was a big one. Finalized at 15% tariff rate, securing $600 billion in investments and $750 billion in U.S. energy deals. And then there are partial or pending discussions, not finalized yet. These deals are moving fast though, so many may be done by now by the time you're watching this. So China, provisional framework delaying some tariffs, but no full agreement yet as of this recording. India, ongoing talks there, 25% reciprocal tariff in force. Deal expected soon though, if not already. The news, it's moving so fast this year. But here's why this rebate matters. The media said tariffs would spark chaos. Instead, they sparked concessions. And now they're generating checks, deals, and cash flow, not just for DC, but for you. This is turning into a global leverage machine. Tariffs used to be seen as punishment. Now they're a bargaining chip to force capital inflows into America. And guess what happens if this $600 rebate passes? Politicians will want to do it again and again and again. Why? Because voters don't hate checks, and politicians know it. They have found the perfect re-election machine.
Most economists, though, they remain a bit skeptical that any kind of rebate will happen, and they want to see that money used to help pay off the national debt.
But why not use this revenue to start paying off the national deficit? I mean, you may be thinking that, because I certainly was. And I'll tell you exactly why in just a second, and you won't believe it. But here's the thing for real estate investors and homeowners. If this bill passes, that money floods into working class households. You'll see bumps in rental activity, first-time buyers and move-ins, especially in red states where more households qualify for the full rebate, and the cash actually goes further there toward rent or a down payment. But not everyone's on board. Some GOP senators say we should use the money to pay down the $37 trillion national debt. I mean, if they only knew what I'm about to show you here in just a second. But others say the rebate distorts the original purpose of tariffs. Or worse, that it's targeted political spending disguised as tax relief. And there's legal risk too. Trump's tariff powers are under review in court. If judges strike it down, future rebates could be off the table completely. So the clock's ticking, and this might be the only one that makes it to the finish line. But the bottom line, this isn't stimulus. It's a reward from a strategy that was supposed to fail, but didn't. Tariffs created leverage, leverage created deals, and deals just might put money in your mailbox. But why wouldn't they use that money to pay down the national deficit instead? Because they could, but they won't, ever. And that's why I made this right here for you, so you can see behind the curtain and play the same winning game that they're playing. Thanks for watching. Take care.